You work your voodoo on me, black magic. You work your voodoo on me, black magic. The things you do.
Right guys, welcome back to VUDU Garage and welcome back to another non-mechanic fitting guide. Today by popular demand we are going to be fitting the VUDU chassis alignment lockdown kit, which fits the ST 180, ST Mark 8, EcoBoost Mark 7 and the EcoBoost Mark 8. For those of you who don't know what the chassis alignment lockdown kit is, basically we designed this item when we brought our race car, which is in the dyno currently, back, and we removed the subframe bolts, and we were astonished by how far the subframe had moved off the body itself. And if you speak to any racing team, you know how bad that is. So we designed these so that the bolt fits in them and it's not moving around anymore, so the subframe and the body is aligned perfectly. So let's get on to the first step and let's fit this. First things first, let's run over some equipment that you'll need. One of the first things is you'll need a jack, or in our case, a ramp. We're using a ramp just because it makes it easier to film without getting in really tight spaces. But you will need a jack to jack up the front of the car. You will need a wrench, a E12 socket and a 18mm socket for the two bolts, and you will also need another jack. This one will be holding up the subframe once we've removed the bolt, so it's not going to drop out. Once you've got your car up on your jack, or in our case our ramp, you want to get your other jack and you want it to be supporting the subframe, which is this section here. You can see that. So I'm just going to do that now. Right, and the reason why we do this is because when we start taking out these bolts are what are holding the subframe to the rest of the body. So if we're not holding it up with this jack, once we remove these bolts, the subframe might just drop out. I mean, I think there are a couple bolts that will still hold it in, but it's not something we really want to risk. So once you've got your other jack set up, let's get on to removing these two bolts here, which I'll just show you now. Right guys, so the first bolts that we will remove are these ones here. They are the bolts that require the 18mm socket. The first one's here, and the second one I'll just show you is this one here. So I'll get on removing them now and I'll show you what it looks like. Right guys, these are the two bolts, if I can hold them correctly. These are the two bolts once you've got them out. Mine did have a bit of a build-up of rust, I don't know if you can see that. Whoa, there. So mine was a bit difficult to get out, especially on that one. Quite a build-up there. I'm going to see if I can get these clean so they're not as grim as they are now. And then once I've done that, I'll come back and I'll show you how the alignment kit goes on these. Right guys, purely because my bolts were that built up with rust, I've actually gone next door and cleaned them up. I know you guys won't have probably won't have the luxury of being able to do that. But if you are able to, and if yours are like mine, I'd definitely recommend cleaning your bolts so that when you put them back in, you're not going to come into any troubles further down the line. Just have a quick, I don't know if you can see them. Whoa, here we go. So yeah, cleaned out all that rust that we're building up to look good as new now. You're going to want to get all your alignment VUDU bits out, and as you would expect, the bigger bolts go with the as you say, fatter alignment kit pieces. So basically it's as simple as these. Just go over there, and as you can see, if I bring it in a little bit closer, whoa, here we go, let's focus up. So as you see, can you see that? So yeah, these bad boys, if you can see it, these literally just, it's got a hole, which just go on top of the bolt like that and just sit nicely on it like that. So you want to do that with both the big ones, it's just like that, and then like that. So they sit nicely on there, make sure they actually do sit nicely. There we go. And once you've done that, you want to head back over to your car and get them back in, so I'll do that now. Right guys, once you've got your bolt cleaned up, if you can, and you've got your VUDU chassis alignment lockdown kit piece on the bolt, you're ready to go put it in. I just want to show you first of all, this is a bolt without it. And you can see I mean obviously I haven't screwed it in yet, but it has all that sort of room to move around. But then as soon as you put this in, I mean there's a little bit of a section there, but it refines that movement. So if we look at them both, that bit's a bit wider there, and that's what stops it moving around in here. So that's what prevents this subframe moving from the rest of the body, and that's basically why we made them. So we'll go ahead, screw this up here, get this nice in there. That's set up there quite nicely. I mean, bit of a shame that the VUDU's on the inside. I would like to get some photos, but can't win them all. So yeah, once you've done that, you want to do the same to the other side. So we'll do that now. Right guys, so it's pretty much just the same boogie on this side. You just want to kind of screw it in first, just get it all, make sure it's in place. Where I hope the VUDU don't get faced the other way like it did on the last one. And then just with your 18mm socket, just want to tighten it up. Right, and that's your first two out of the four we're going to do. So I'll show you now where the other two are. We're in a bit of a trickier spot, but I'm sure it'll be easy enough to get to them, and then I'll show you how to do them. Once you've managed to get them two fitted, the next two bolts are a bit harder to get to, but not impossible. They're there, if you can see that. I don't know if it's focused. That bolt there, which is conveniently have this little hole to get to, you can see back there. And on the other side, same place, you can see it there, just behind there. They're located the other side of a wheel like that, and they require the E12 socket to get to, so I'll have a crack at getting them out now. Right, to get to this bolt, I don't know if you can see me, I hope you can. I'm actually using one of these extender things, and I'm poking it through this hole here to it makes it really easy to get to. If you have one of those, great stuff. If not, you can still access it coming through the top, but it's just a bit more cramped, so I'd recommend having one of these. But yeah, same again, just loosen this off. I'll just quickly do that now. So I'm just going to do the same on this side as well. Right guys, so I've removed both the bolts and I've gone ahead and cleaned this one already. You can see the sort of difference there. This one's got quite a build-up of rust, so cleaning it really helps sort of maintain it, and it saves you problems further down the line. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this one now as well, and then we're going to just bam the alignment kit on these two and bolt them back up. Right guys, so when you've got your bolts all cleaned up, like I have with mine, it's just the same gig with these again. They literally just slot over the top and sit nicely on the bolt like that. So I'll now bolt these back into place and we'll go from there. Right guys, I apologise for the sudden change in scenery. Basically Nick, our boss, has just come in setting up his catering, and it being a bit loud of it, so I'll come up here to wrap up the video. So basically once you've put in those 4 bolts, that is practically it. After that you want to lower the jack supporting the subframe quite slowly just to make sure everything is on correctly and there's nothing going to come loose. Once you've done that, you can get the car on the ground and get it going. One thing to mention, and it's an important one, if your car's subframe and body was very off centre, now that we've centred it with this alignment kit, you might find that your wheel alignment is quite off. So what we recommend to do once you've fitted this is head to any dealer, any local dealer who does wheel alignments, and then once they've managed to align the wheels, then your body and subframe will be perfectly in line, and then so will your wheels. So you'll be good to go at that. Anyway, that's the fitting guide. Thank you very much for watching this far if you have. If you have enjoyed it, if it's been useful, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and as well leave a comment down below of what sort of fitting video you want to see next. It'll give me some good ideas and I'll try and bang one out soon. So thank you.